Okay, so when that's flashing, it's working. Okay, we'll go ahead right now. Okay, we'll just leave it.
I forget your son's name.
And the whiteboard's way off.
And
Like I don't want to be
that real life thing. And I was like, I remember you from days about it. He was like, yeah, great to know that's what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, we laughed about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's funny. You'll tell her now, she'll get it at it.
Okay.
Anybody only gets
Yeah, that will be nice.
Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and get started, and then we have lunch in about 30 minutes. So, we just wanted to take a minute to say some of the things that the other teachers won't need. So little things like where to park, what time to be here, and then give you a chance to ask any specific questions that you have. But after, I remember my first year here, this is my 5th, and after the technology training was, like, my mind was spinning and I was panicking. So just encouragement, don't, like, it's fine. It's fine. We will sit next to you and help you put in your lesson plans if we need to do that. Like, if you want to get started on your lesson plans and you have no idea how to do that, because that was an overview of all things RenWeb, type it in a Word document, and then we can help you put it into RenWeb later when you have more specific directions, and you can pause it, or we can type it out for you. You can go step by step. But if you want to start working on things like lesson plans and you have no idea how to get into the system that you just were introduced to, my recommendation would be just type it in an email or a Word document, and then we can just copy paste the first few weeks to help you get started. That was, I remember my first year, I was like, okay, I just sat through a training. I've got to have lesson plans in, and I have no idea how to get from A to B. No, I couldn't remember how to log in. I couldn't remember what to click on, and it was like, I think I clicked on Classroom. And then you click on it, and it looks different than it did. It was a hot mess in my mind, and I was just hanging by a thread. So, like, don't. If you're like me and you're anxious about it, the only thing that you need to worry about for the first week with RenWeb is lesson plans, and we can sit with you and get that in. If we need to do something like email a teacher or add grades, that can be week 2 and 3. Like day 1, it's just love on those babies, be friendly, make a connection with them, and find a way to communicate something positive in your satellite day on Friday. Have something fun, a get to know you activity. Like, nothing needs to be stressful that first week, including having all of your standards tagged and all of those stressful things. So just take a breath and don't freak out over all things technology. To me, that's the hardest part about starting at a new school, is you're a great teacher. You know what to do in the classroom. You know how to love kids. You're good at all of those things, but all of the technology is brand new everywhere you go, and learning something from the very beginning is overwhelming, and nothing is the same as a school or an app that you used in the past. So we will work on that. We will get you more specific instructions, and Ashley will go over it later. But if you do want to work on lesson plans, for example, this weekend, because I know she was saying, we'll work on this again on Tuesday, just start typing it somewhere else, and it'll be easy to just copy and paste it into it later. We have a little list of things we thought would be helpful, so I'll just start going down that. The staff working times. So the kids will be held at the doors until 7:40. So no one will be wandering in your room before that. But we open the doors every day except for the first day at 7:40, and then they will just come up to your room to greet you. So we ask that you be in your room ready to go by 7:40.
The first day, it's 7:30.
The very first day of school, we have it. I'll say this, as a family, I love it, and I think it's so great that we have a photo walk, and both parents come usually, like my husband comes, and our family photo for the year a lot of times
Right.
is the first day of school that Ashley Hollis or Jen DeFries is taking our pictures, and we're wearing our Kings t-shirt, and it's great. But as a classroom teacher, there's a long line of 200 kids waiting to have their first day of school picture with their family. So they do kind of trickle in slowly. starting at 7:30. So it just gives you a minute to get to know each kid as they slowly come in the door. But we do ask that you be ready to greet kids at 7:30 just on that first day. The tardy bell rings. We don't care about on the first day because they're going to be in the picture line for a minute. But the tardy bell rings at 7:55 on the other days. Kathy will log the tardies for elementary as the kids walk in late. We aren't counting, especially for our for a 6-year-old. If they're tardy one day, their parent walked them in and signed them in late and said why they're late. So we're not super worried about counting every single tardy for our littles unless it gets to be a problem, and then we'll contact them. So it's not something that a classroom teacher needs to stress about logging them tardy for our little kids. Junior high is different. You're taking attendance by period, so if they're late, you do it there. But for my elementary teachers where you're just counting present in the English section, that's all we're worried about. Because Kathy counts them tardy if she sees them walk in really late and talks to the parent. For dismissal, for elementary, we start heading out front, and I'll send you an email, and I'll send all of the parents an email. We have one, it's the same one we used last year. We are just going to tweak it a little and send it again because change is challenging. So we're just going to go with what we did. So we start heading out. A lot of them start heading out at 3:05. Technically, we're loading them in the cars at 3:10. We meet in the halls before we walk outside, though. So, and you'll see it in the email, but it's like A through J. We meet in this hall. When all of the grades are in, then we all walk out together. We started doing that last year, and it works a lot better than, oh, 4th grade we're still waiting on them, so we'll just go out without 4th grade. Well, inevitably, the first 2 people in line are 4th grade parents, and then everybody else is looking at us and they're so ready because they see their child standing there and they're 10 cars back, and we don't want to send a 5-year-old down the parking lot alone. So if we just wait together, it goes a lot better. And if they're late, I'll call them or text them or send somebody. But so at 3:05, start heading.
The first few weeks, it's like being down here at 3:05. After a certain point of time, we just kind of played it by ear last year. We said, hey, we don't need to come down so early anymore.
It was 3:08. If it's 3:08, you're late. But we send an obnoxiously long email detailing all of the dismissal procedures to everyone.
It's great.
So you will read through it and then respond if you have any questions, because I know every school does that differently, but it's something that has been a lot better in the last few years, so we're going to stick with what we did last year and split them by sibling groups rather than by grade, so parents don't have to drive through and pick up 2 or 3 times.
And junior high gets out at 3:25, and so they all come out at the same time from their classes. So I just ask that the teachers walk them out to me. They all come to the front, the little circle drive up here, so that we always inevitably have some stragglers who are in the gym playing basketball or going through the locker. We try, Coach T helps and shooing them out and things because their parents are the first ones in the line. So your last period class, if you will walk out, you don't have to stay out there with them, but just walk them to the door with me. And
Get
then,
them through the gym.
Yeah, and then I'll be out there, to get them all, and they go pretty quickly. So
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is parking in the morning. Sharing a campus with a church is a blessing in so many ways, but one of the things, there's a lot of logistical challenges. So one of them is we park in a specific place and we leave spots for their PDO parents and their office staff to park. So our teachers and staff can park on this, it's like the fence to the playground. We can park right against it or in the second row. If you're parking in the parking lot on the other side, we need to stick to the perimeter. So facing the fences, not in the middle. The middle is reserved for any of their, if church members come throughout the day, PDO parents come throughout the day. We like to save all of the good spots in the middle up there for not somebody who's here working all day.
So you said again, like park along the fence line
Yes,
or
or up
Or
here.
out here outside this window by the playground. Anywhere that the metal fence is, you can park, or there's the open spots behind them, like closer to Saltgrass. Just don't go past the metal fence, because that's where a lot of their office staff parks on this side, and they park real close to that sidewalk. Under the tree.
It's a good spot.
okay.
Door to get in. There is a
Yeah.
gate, and we'll give you the code to it, and then you can get in the doors over here. Yes.
This is where
This is where
I
we
park. I think this is better than out there. I've parked in both places different years. This is preferred parking to me, if that means anything.
And let's just go ahead and say it, Miss Bill's spot is the very first one, because I'm the first one here usually. Morgan beats me sometimes. But it depends on if I have to fuss with my kids. I'm just kidding. Y'all can park wherever.
No, I have
But
to
that's
be
what's
I'm not
fun.
beating her here, ever.
So what time?
It's like that Baptist thing, don't take my spot.
What time does the building open? Your name on it?
Ralph is here by 6 something.
Yeah, it's always for sure open by 7.
So we get like badges to scan, or you don't have that?
No, there is a code to type into the, to get in to the gate right here.
Okay.
The front door is Ralph opens for us, and then when the tardy bell rings, he has it set to lock
Okay.
at that point. The only one that's not turned off with the, whatever he schedules, is the keypad here at the gate, and we give all of our teachers that code. I think it may have,
It's 1893 star, whatever number was that.
yeah. Yeah.
1893 star.
Is the door, once you put in that code, is that always unlocked during the day?
Ralph
Between the
unlocks
two
all of those in the
buildings?
morning, and then they're
Yes.
unlocked all day.
Like the
Okay.
double glass doors.
So if we only come for some classes and we parked over here,
Yes.
we'll be able to get in without
Yes.
a key? Okay.
Because that's inside the fenced in locked
Okay.
gates, those 2 doors will stay open.
This was really only for junior high and
Yeah.
high school, but you only need to be on campus for the classes that you teach. My elementary teachers and staff are here. You here all day, please. Thank you. The elementary and high school, some of the teachers are only here for a few classes, so you don't have to be here all day.
It's like you come in 15 minutes before your class start time, and that's it.
So decorating your classrooms, this is something that And this is something that is unique to us, again, sharing space with the church. We told most of you, I think, on interviews, but the way that we share our classrooms with Sunday school rooms is all of the bulletin boards, with the exception of very few rooms, are flippable, right? So our side is where you can put your classroom, all the things. You can't put anything on the wall, you can't put anything on the door. If you have magnets and you put something on, like your black cabinet, for instance, that's in your room, you need to take it off on Thursday afternoon and put it inside your cabinet for the weekend. Because the rooms need to be able to be completely flipped and look like a Sunday school room on the weekends. You don't have to have it flipped for Wednesday nights, but I would not leave things on your table, on your desks, on Wednesday nights. Because they have stuff here, right? Like, so they'll have, the kids are in the kinder and first grade, I think there's some, and then I know there's some in the junior high on Wednesday nights. So it just might get moved or misplaced or whatever. So you don't have to flip your bulletin boards or put everything away, but if there's like school, like work on your tables and put that away, the kids take it home anyway. But
What if you have a stationary board in your room?
Then that board is yours.
then it's yours. There's a few classrooms that either they're not using on Sunday mornings, or when we set everything up with the flippable boards a few years ago, they weren't using it then. And so if it's not flippable, it's ours.
And
But-
if whatever's on it,
It's fine.
it's
Yep,
okay?
it's all, yes, that room is not used on Sunday mornings,
Okay.
Just for a
generally.
few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Any questions about that? Because that's always,
Kristen, so for our name tags that we use, Velcro, do you want us to remove them for Wednesday?
no.
No, that's fine.
And
What
I
was the
don't think the
question?
room is used on Wednesday.
If you have like name tags that are Velcro to the table, she asked if she had to take them off for Wednesday.
Oh, like for each student, like where they sit?
Yes.
Is for our kindergarten, the numbers and ABCs?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if you have anything like that, They can take it off for Sundays, but you can leave it Wednesday nights.
And as a general rule, I don't know that, I know they don't care in your room about the Velcro. As a general rule, I would just place the name tag on there for the older kids because those tables are used, especially upstairs, by adults Sunday mornings. And so just having the Velcro there, especially because a lot of the tables, they're the church's tables, like that we're using. So to put something kind of permanent on there, I would. Any other questions about decorating?
So do we flip the boards? Is that
No,
what's going on?
we have a team, and my son has joined that team. So Coach T and Taryn are going to walk around every Thursday afternoon and flip it to the Sunday school side. And then on either Sunday evening or Monday morning early, they're going to flip it back to the school side. They also will be flipping the tables and chairs in a lot of the rooms. Some of them, you guys will have it set up the same way that the Sunday school class is, and that's always fine. But if you have a setup that you want that's different than the way that the Sunday school class is set up, the church takes pictures of how they want it set up for Sunday morning, and we will take a picture probably before or after open house of how you want your class, the tables, the chairs, everything set up for during the week. And the crew that flips boards will also be putting the tables and chairs the way. After the first few weeks, they remember it and it goes really fast. But I know for a while they're carrying around a binder and flipping each room.
And if you ever change throughout the year, you need
Email
to take
it.
a new picture and email it to Kathy so we can get it.
In the binder. Yeah. For the most part, in the last few years, we've been able to work really well with the church of, okay, the same tables and chairs stay in the room during the week and on Sunday. It just may be moved a little bit. There are a few rooms where the tables and the chairs don't work and they're just in the corner in the back of the room. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of how you want your classroom set up, how you want your students seated. Because if it's different than the tables and chairs that are in there, it's okay, but they will still have to be in there because they won't be moved out for the week. They'll just be gently shoved aside. You have the cabinet that's in your room. Most of them are black metal ones. Some of them are plastic. Almost all of them lock. If yours doesn't and you need it to, let us know and we'll get it fixed. But that's where you can keep all of your teacher supplies that stay here on campus. We can't use the church cabinets with the exception of a very few rooms that have the tags labeled on there. Like downstairs, there's those labels that some say CAX and some say Colonial Hills. And if it's labeled that you can use it, go ahead. Otherwise, stick to your King's cabinet. I found it was really helpful to have one of those teacher rolling crates. And I kept a lot of stuff here, but anything that didn't fit or anything that I was just using unit by unit, I would just roll in and out with me every few weeks. Because I know if you're used to a classroom that you leave your stuff on Friday and you come back and everything's ready for you Monday, it's a challenge to get used to it. I found that there was a lot of stuff that I used in the past that I just really didn't need to have around every week, and I was panicked about it a little bit at first that I didn't have all of my math supplies that were just, oh, this is the tub that I always use for place value or whatever. But there are lots of things that you can use that we have in different places. Like we have some math manipulatives that are shared, and so if you need it for a few weeks, you can bring it to your room, and then we'll put it back in the racquetball room or in some of the math cabinets. But we do ask that you keep everything to your specific spot. That was one thing that the church mentioned when we met with them last month, was there were a few rooms, and they didn't say which ones, so I really don't know, but there were a few rooms where apparently the teacher had sweetly asked the Sunday school teacher, hey, are you using your cabinet? Can I use it? And they said the thing is, everyone in that class may not think, oh, that cabinet is not needed, and so then if later in the year they really had something that they needed to put in there, the decision had already been made and it's hard to go back. So they said just please don't use their cabinets, because at some point they may have something, even if it's not the first few weeks, which makes sense, I get it. So If you have a storage space, let us know and we'll try to come up with a place for you to put some tubs and you can store it in the racquetball room or something like that.
So question two, you
Yes.
talked about like if we wanted to do lesson plans or whatever. So like for me, is my curriculum already in that black closet? Whatever I'm gonna.
Yours is actually in the workroom. in the
Yes, because there's a lot of stuff because we added a third
back. We can buy all new stuff.
section to that grade. So yeah, we bought all of yours new and it's in the workroom with your name on it,
Okay,
ready to go.
okay.
But other stuff, because there were 2 sets of 3rd grade materials in the past, so all of your stuff will be new. But the shared materials, like the science stuff that we can share for every grade and the math manipulatives, those kinds of things, we can show you where those are. But
Okay.
your cabinets are empty now, right? We got all the STEM stuff out, so your cabinets are empty in your room, ready to go.
You have 2 in your room, one is yours, and then one is, there's another cabinet that has to be emptied and moved over. Like the things are taken out of it, that's 3rd grade general, it's your math and science things. So you have 2 in your room, one is yours only, and